They liked the balance that they had in race.
Casey Kane, we congratulate him, his third career pole.
It's all three Hendrick Motorsports in the front.
There's a few movers and shakers out there.
Carl Edwards free falling for a couple. To victory lane is Joey Logano.
Get the inside line on who's fast and who's last before setting your NASCAR fantasy race team lineup this weekend. This is the Inside Line on MRN.com, presented by Hercules Tires. Now, here are your fantasy experts, Robbie Mays and Tyler Burnett.
Welcome to the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show, presented by Hercules Tires. We're going chasing this weekend, and I cannot wait. We're heading to the Chicagoland Speedway. This is Robbie Mays. I'm Tyler Burnett. Let's kick off, Robbie, 10 weeks of probably the most exciting 10 weeks in racing, I would say.
I love these 10 weeks of racing. I love the fact that we're going to Chicagoland this weekend with 16 drivers who all have a mathematical chance at being our Sprint Cup Series champion for 2016. And I love the fact that in 3 races, we're going to say, you know what, 4 of you guys, bye-bye. And then 3 races after that, we're going to say another one of these 4 guys, bye-bye. And then we're going to get to Homestead in November, and we're going to have 4 guys that whoever finishes best is going to be our champion. So it's a great time of year. It's a fun time of year, and we're going to some fun racetracks. And Chicagoland Speedway, we're going to kick the chase off there this year. I love Chicagoland Speedway. It's an old, worn-out surface, multi-grooves. You can go, you can run side by side. You can run 3 wide. You have guys who have problems, gets pinched off the corner, they're in the wall, they're out of a chance to win a championship. So I think the best way to kick things off in the chase every year is going to Chicagoland Speedway.
That's right, and we cannot wait this weekend. Today, we will set our fantasy lineups for Chicago, but we'll also use one of our segments where we usually have a guest to pick our chase grid and pick our champions for the year ahead of the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. One of the things that we'll talk about most today is 5 of the 10 races in the chase are mile-and-a-half racetracks. And pretty much all of my notes I did for this show today consist of mile-and-a-half numbers for all of the 16 chasers going into the chase, and that kind of has dictated how my chase will play out. Robbie, I will leave you with this stat before we go to break. There are 2 drivers this year who have finished in the top 10 in all mile-and-a-half racetracks out of the 16 chasers. Do you know who they are?
I know who one of them is, and I think I know who the second one is.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll leave you with that. You guys think about it. After the break, we'll tell you who it is. This is the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show presented by Hercules Tires.
We'll be right back in just a moment to talk more fantasy racing with Tyler and Robbie here on the Inside Line.
The Toyota racing team was born out of true American tradition. We've racked up 332 NASCAR wins. That's a whole lot of victory laps. Just last year, Toyota racing driver Kyle Busch took home the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series championship. We even have Toyota drivers racing Tundras in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. But winning isn't our only tradition. Toyota has been in North America for almost 60 years. We have 10 Toyota assembly plants scattered throughout the United States. Those plants produce 9 of our models right here, including the Camry, Tacoma, and Tundra. In 2014, a total of 1.3 million Toyota vehicles were assembled here in America. That's a lot of cars. The production of all those vehicles has created thousands of American jobs. That's a lot of opportunities. Opportunities that we'd like to keep going for years to come. So let's go, America. Let's go, NASCAR. Let's go places. Head on over to toyotaracing.com to find more info on our drivers. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
O'Reilly. Greasy grime on your vehicle could take hours to clean, but not with Super Clean. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, buy 1 bottle of Super Clean all-wheel, multi-purpose, or foaming degreaser and get 1 free. Plus, earn double points during O Rewards Member Appreciation Month. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We now return to the Inside Line with Robbie Mays and Tyler Burnett.
Can't wait for Chicagoland Speedway this weekend to kick off the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. All 3 series, so the National Series, are in action this weekend, right?
Yes.
The trucks Friday night. That's a late one. I think it's 8 Eastern.
Oh, it's right, around there. It's right there on the piece of paper.
Oh, yes. That would help me. The Truck Series race is Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Motor Racing Network. And then, of course, the Xfinity Series at 3 p.m. Eastern with the Drive for Safety 300. And then, of course, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 400. And I got an email yesterday. We might have the Ninja Turtle, the main one. What's his name?
Leonardo.
Yeah, sure. Is that his name?
He's
Michelangelo.
Oh, Michelangelo.
I think Michelangelo might be in our pre-race.
Okay. Well, Leonardo is the leader. It said so in the song.
Yeah, it did?
Yeah.
Sing it.
I'm not going to sing it. I don't sing on this show. I pick drivers on this show.
Wow. That's what we have today. So, anyways, we left you with
We've gone way around the bend already.
Chicagoland Speedway is a 1.5-mile racetrack, and so is Charlotte, Kansas, Texas, and Homestead. That's the other 4 racetracks in the Chase that are 1.5-mile racetracks. Going into this weekend, we have raced at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1.5-mile racetracks this year.
Yes.
Only 2 guys have finished in the top 10 at both of those 1.5-mile racetracks.
Yes.
I will tell you one of them is Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch had a very long record of finishing races this year. I think it ended, where did it end? Darlington?
Darlington?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bristol, maybe.
Or Michigan.
No, it ended at Bristol. It ended at Bristol.
Yeah, that's right. Bristol.
He got caught up in a wreck with Ryan Blaney.
Yeah.
And then he's kind of fallen off there, I guess. But he's had a pretty good year. Let's just say that. And he has top 10s at all of the 1.5-mile racetracks this year. Kurt Busch has 4th at Kentucky, 6th at Charlotte, 3rd Kansas, 9th Texas, 9th Vegas, and 4th Atlanta.
Which is an average of 5.8.
Yes, it is. And who's the other guy?
Kevin Harvick with a 6.0 average finish. So 2 drivers from Stewart-Haas Racing have the best average finishes on 1.5-mile racetracks in 2016. You would say, well, I thought it would be Joe Gibbs Racing. Well, you got to go down the list a little bit. Kyle Busch has a 9.0 average finish on 1.5-mile racetracks this year. Carl Edwards with a 10.2. Matt Kenseth at 14.3. And Denny Hamlin is at 17.2, so one of the lower drivers as far as 1.5-mile tracks go.
I will say about Kyle Busch, he had a chance to win at least 3 races, maybe 4 on 1.5-mile racetracks.
Well, he did win 2.
He won Kansas, yes. He led 69 laps. He won Texas. He led 34. He led 38 laps at Vegas, and you remember Brad Keselowski came up and stole the win from him at the end of the race.
Yeah.
And that one at Vegas, and then, of course, 3rd at Atlanta. So those 4 races, potentially Kyle Busch could have had 4.5-mile wins this year. So Kyle, though the other 2 might be the most consistent at 1.5-mile racetracks, Kyle Busch might be the best on 1.5-mile racetracks coming in to the Chase, though he struggled here the last 6-7 races heading into the Chase. Anyways, our team's heading to the Chicagoland Speedway. Robbie Mays, who's your number 1 pick?
I got to go with Kevin Harvick, and I just mentioned a 6.0 average finish on 1.5-mile racetrack so far in 2016. Kevin Harvick won the first 2 races at Chicagoland Speedway back in 2001, 2002, and last year ended a streak of 2 straight top 5 finishes. Cut tire after contact from Jimmy Johnson. That kind of set up Kevin Harvick's first 2 races, which were struggles. He had to go out and win at Dover to make the next round of the Chase. So Kevin Harvick, pretty good at Chicagoland. 15 starts at Chicago, 2 wins, 8 top 5s, 9 top 10s. His average finish is 11.7.
Kevin Harvick is not my number 1 pick heading into the weekend, though his numbers are pretty dang good the last 4 races. I'm kind of going off of momentum right here going into the Chase. Kevin Harvick is on my team. He finished 1st at Bristol, 5th at Michigan, 2nd at Darlington, and 5th at Richmond. So he's riding a pretty good top 5 streak right now. So Kevin Harvick is on my team. I think he'll lead a lot of laps this weekend. I think he potentially can win the race. My number 1 pick heading into this weekend is all about momentum because this guy has not been that great on 1.5-mile racetracks this year. 9th at Kentucky, 13th at Charlotte. He wrecked at Kansas, 14th at Kentucky, 34th at Vegas, and 26th at Atlanta. But the 3 numbers I look at are a 1st-place finish in Michigan, a 3rd-place finish in Darlington, and a 2nd-place finish in Richmond. Right now, the 42 team has the most momentum heading into this Chase. Kyle Larson is on my team this weekend, and I think potentially, this is a little bit of a tease heading into the next segment, I think potentially Kyle Larson can make it to Homestead.
He's going to have some challenges to get to Homestead. I've also got him on my team this week. 2 races at Chicagoland Speedway, 3rd in 2014, 7th last year. And 7th last year for Kyle Larson was pretty good because he struggled the bulk of the season last year. But his 23.5 Average finish on mile-and-a-half racetracks in 2016. His best finish on mile-and-a-halves was 13th at Charlotte. And, yeah, you can say he's got the momentum right now, but you've also got to look at what he's done so far this year. So right now, I'm leaning towards him making at least the second round of the chase, maybe to the third round of the chase. We'll see here in a couple of minutes. But definitely Kyle Larson this weekend I think could be a good bet. I just want to see how long this momentum can carry on.
Well, the one thing that I looked at with Kyle Larson last year and the year before, they were good during the chase. They just weren't in the chase. I mean, they had some very good finishes and potentially had some wins. Kyle Larson almost won this race at Homestead last year.
Sure.
And he told me at Darlington, he goes, if it wasn't for the phantom debris caution is what he called it. Now, I'm not saying that's what it was, but he potentially could have won this race at Homestead.
Yeah.
So he looked at his average finish. He calculated him up compared to Kyle Busch's last year in the chase. Kyle Busch had a 9.8 average finish over the chase last year. That's probably where you need to be, somewhere around the top 10. Kyle Larson had a 9.9 average finish. So he was right there with Kyle Busch. I mean, these tracks are good for him, and they right now are as good as they can get heading into the chase.
It's all about winning in these rounds. Yeah. That's the easiest way to advance to the next round. And I'll tell you this about Kyle Larson. 241 laps led in 2016. 101 of those have been in the last 3 races.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
My third guy on my team, and I'm pretty sure – wait, do you have Kyle Larson on your team?
I do have Kyle Larson on my team, yeah.
Our third guy, I'm pretty sure we have the same third guy heading into this weekend. And it's a guy who has led the most laps on all of the mile-and-a-half racetracks this year. Who is it, Robbie Mays?
Martin Truex Jr.
How many laps has he led?
785 laps led on mile-and-a-half racetracks in 2016. 392 of those were in the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte. So still, though, that's a lot for one race, but still 782 laps.
Took him to the woodshed in that race. He finished 10th at Kentucky. He won, of course, Charlotte, 6th at Texas, 11th at Vegas, 7th at Atlanta, and Truex should have won Kansas as well. I mean, they had a problem on pit road. Kyle Busch ended up winning the race, but Truex was the best car by far in Kansas that weekend, and he will tell you that if you walk up to him anytime. So Chicagoland is similar to a Kansas. I think Truex could be the best car this weekend.
Yeah, he's got an 8.2 average finish on the mile-and-a-halves this year, but Chicagoland has never been that kind to him. 2 top 10s in 10 starts, led 39 laps and finished 13th in this race a year ago. But right now they're running too good. They're strong. Even last week at Richmond, they had the speeding penalty on pit road early in the race. They were able to rebound though, and I know Richmond was a little bit weird because there were a lot of cautions and a lot of strategy going on there. But if they can cut back their mistakes, Tyler, their problem this year hasn't been fast cars. Their problems this year have been mistakes on pit road. If they can cut that out, they have a legitimate chance to win the championship this year.
Yeah, no, they've had fast cars. There's no question about that, and they've had some of the fastest cars at mile-and-a-half racetracks this year, and that's why I think either Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., or Kevin Harvick is probably the 3 you look at going into this weekend. I just can't afford Kyle Busch. I want Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex.
Sure.
That's where it's at. So to round out my team, I have Ryan Blaney. Blaney has been running pretty well, has some speed in the cars right now. They, of course, did not make the chase. But we saw with Kyle Larson the past 2 years, that doesn't really matter. You can contend for wins. Austin Dillon, I thought, had the best car. We went to Chicagoland last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he had some kind of problem.
Cut a tire down.
Yeah, he cut a tire down, right?
Yeah.
So Austin Dillon might be a guy you look at this weekend as well. He's, of course, racing for a chase, so he might be a little bit more conservative. But he was fast the last time we were there at Chicago. So I have Ryan Blaney, and then to round up my team, I have Matt DiBenedetto.
All right, I've got Harvick, I've got Truex, I've got Kyle Larson. Ricky Stenhouse is on my team this week. 3rd in this race in 2013, 17th in 2014, and 18th last year. And I'll also keep Chris Buescher on my team. Still a solid pick, in my opinion, if you've got him for under $10, which I do right now. I've got him locked in at $675.
He is getting some help from Roush Yates and Ford Performance. They are helping him out as far as giving – I don't know how I would say this. That he's getting better cars than he was at the beginning of the year because they want him to compete in the championship. I mean, he's the only Roush Yates car in the, or excuse me, a Roush affiliated car in the field.
Yeah.
So Buescher could be a guy that potentially could run, somewhere around mid-pack. I would say would be a good finish for Chris Buescher this weekend. So Matt DiBenedetto, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick. That's my team.
Harvick, Truex, Kyle Larson, Stenhouse, and Chris Buescher.
After the break, we'll pick our chase grids. You're watching the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show presented by Hercules Tires.
The Inside Line will return in just a moment.
And we're back with Kansas Speedway, who is still sorry.
That's right. I'm, really sorry to the coworkers of my fans who have to listen to all that loud talking on Monday. And sorry my drink prices won't turn your weekend into a loan application. And sorry the chase for the championship is more exciting than your last date.
The chase is on as the Sprint Cup Series Championship rolls in Sunday, October 16th for the Hollywood Casino 400 at Kansas Speedway. Tickets at kansasspeedway.com.
You're welcome.
Hi, this is John, the pace car driver. Safety is very important to me and my family, so I keep informed about recalls. There are drivers out there that don't know that their very own car could be under a recall, and that's dangerous. So to protect you and your family, go to safercar.gov/check for recalls and enter your vehicle identification number. And if it is, call your local dealership. They'll fix it for free. To learn about other Drive for Safety messages, visit safercar.gov. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Ready to take the training wheels off your race scanner? Go to fanvision.com and upgrade your experience with FanVision. Not only will you be able to hear the race,
Dale Earnhardt Jr. gets a good run, drafting help from Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick. Jr. again pulls up alongside for the race lead.
you'll see every moment through live video, instant replays, live stats, and more.
Hi, I'm Jamie McMurray, driver of the #1 Cessna Chevrolet, and I never go to the track without my FanVision. So go to fanvision.com to rent or buy yours today.
Now it's back to Robbie Mays and Tyler Burnett on the Inside Line.
Welcome back to the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show. Of course, you see now in studio we got a little bit larger.
I was walking by the door, and these guys, they said, hey, come on in, be on the show.
Rich Colbert.
That was not what happened.
I beg to differ on that one.
What happened was he basically walked up with a chase grid, and he said, I want to be on your show, and I want to make a chase grid pick. So he thinks he's like outstanding at fantasy racing because
I wasn't this past weekend.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
It was a bad
How'd you do at Richmond?
Bad day.
Say the number.
Let me just say I was third in the points, and then I dropped to sixth.
Yes, I saw it.
Yeah, I didn't have Truex.
You didn't have Hamlin or
nor
Truex.
Hamlin. And if you had those two guys on, I don't care if the rest of your team finished, like
dead last.
40th dead last. You did well.
Yeah.
And I didn't have neither one of those guys on. So.
Anyways, Rich Colbert is on the show today, and we're going to talk about our chase grids. So, boys, our first round, the round of 16, I guess is what it's called. I mean, they're not doing the elimination and all that rounds.
Well, we're still eliminating, but we've just gotten rid of the names.
Like the the whatever nations.
Because
and all
people like me were constantly forgetting what they were supposed to be last
The
year.
round of 16, the Sweet 16, if you will. That's just all the chasers right now. So let's Chicagoland, New Hampshire, Dover. Who makes it out of there? Let's first say who is the 4 that is going to be eliminated heading into the round of 12. Robbie?
I think Chase Elliott
is eliminated.
He makes it through. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I think Jamie McMurray, Austin Dillon, Chris Buescher, and I don't think Tony Stewart makes it through.
Okay,
so that's my 4 to be eliminated.
I'm with you on the Buescher and Austin Dillon. I'm with you on those, but I'm gonna and Tony Stewart. I don't think Tony Stewart makes it either.
You got Jamie in.
I got Jamie in. I've got Austin Dillon not making it, Chris Buescher not making it, Tony Stewart not making it, and Jimmy Johnson.
Wow.
Why? Why Jimmy Johnson?
Well, look at last year. Last year he didn't make it out of the first round.
You think he's going to lose a $5 part again?
Okay, stand by. Pump the brakes there. Pump the brakes. Let's see how he's done here the last couple of weeks.
All right.
He spun out on his own at Darlington and also at Richmond. He didn't have the best of days either. He rebounded, but you're going to have to finish well within the top 15 in all 3 races. Last year, he had an 11th place finish, and he had a 6th place finish at New Hampshire. When he got to, and what you're talking about at Dover, he had a part break, and he ended up finishing like 38th, 39th, but that ended up
So he had an 11th place finish at Chicago? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Chicago,
Okay.
he had an 11th place finish and 6th at New Hampshire. And he had that bad race. All it takes is one time. And that's the reason why we're talking about Tony Stewart not making it, is that his last
is
4
not
or 5
good.
It has not been good.
It has not been good at all. And if he has one more bad finish outside of the top 30, he doesn't make it. Now, now a lot of people are thinking right now, it's like, well, look at 2011, where he was out to lunch the entire season, and then he gets to the chase and wins 5 races out of the 10, and he ends up winning the championship. if you're making that bet, then you make it.
Even
I'm not gonna be in it with you.
since Tony Stewart won the race at Sonoma and picked up his game, he still hasn't been one of the best cars on the racetrack.
No, he was second. So
I don't think he'll be one of the best.
The only
cars in
thing
10
I think
races.
helps Stewart this weekend is that New Hampshire is in this round. New Hampshire, he finished second.
Mm-hmm.
He probably was not a second-place car. That was easy to say, I would think. He was probably somewhere around 20th throughout the entire race. He finished 11th at Indianapolis. That's respectable. He finished 5th at Pocono, 5th at Watkins Glen. Then the last 4 races, he's been 30th, 21st, 35th, and 33rd. He has not been good, and that's why he's not in my next round either.
All it takes is one out of these 3 races.
You have one
time,
problem.
If you don't win the race, if you don't win all of the 3 races or any of the 3 races, and you finish outside of the top 30, you will not make it.
The
and
problem
Jimmy Johnson
is,
prime
I'd go to
example.
Vegas right now and tell you that Jimmy Johnson has a great shot at winning at Dover because he's dominated Dover.
Yeah, that's what she said in the springtime too.
Yeah, where did he finish there?
I don't even know. Did he wreck or something?
He didn't win.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
No, he didn't win.
I don't think he finished well either. I think he had a bad day. No, I agree.
I think he can get a solid finish at Dover.
I agree. He can get a solid finish at Dover. But if he has a bad race at Chicago or at New Hampshire, which is possible because of the history that they've had here in recent weeks, you might see Jimmy Johnson not making that first round again.
I think he can get you a top 5 at Chicago too.
Okay, so
who
do you think doesn't
He's got
move on?
4 mile-and-a-half top 5s this year. I mean, 3rd at Charlotte, 4th at Texas, 3rd at Vegas, and 1st at Atlanta. So I mean, I think Jimmy Johnson moves on. Let's just say that.
All right.
That's a good argument point though. I do not have Chase Elliott in my next round. Chase has not been running that well recently, and I think Austin Dillon has been running solidly on the mile-and-a-half racetracks, and I think Austin Dillon was very good at Chicago the last time we were here. So Austin Dillon I have in my next round. What do you guys think about that instead of a Chase Elliott?
I think Chase Elliott has the ability to be more consistent than Austin Dillon.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you got to think that Chase Elliott's never been in the chase before.
Right.
It's a
Well, neither is
Austin Dillon.
Well, you're right, but Austin Dillon's been around. This is, Chase's rookie year, and it might be a little bit too much for him. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, but the team is the old team that Jeff Gordon had.
Yeah.
So those guys are probably going to be on their game, but I don't know. That's a toss-up. Austin Dillon, Chase Elliott, but I have a feeling Chase is going to make it before Austin Dillon.
Chase finished 2nd at Michigan among the last, since Kentucky. He has 1 top 10 since then.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I just think
he's not riding enough momentum heading into the chase right now.
You're right. He had a bad race
better.
at Richmond. He had a bad race at Richmond and some of the recent races, but he had a great run at Darlington.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
All right. So
who are you for? You say you got Austin Dillon and Chase Elliott not making it?
So I have Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, Jamie McMurray, and Tony Stewart are the 4 that I do not have going to the next.
As well. Okay.
I have Austin going in. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So there we go. Now moving on to the round of 12, moving into the round of 8. The next 4 are eliminated. So Charlotte, Kansas, Talladega, tracks that are. I mean, you got 2 mile-and-a-half racetracks in there, but then you have the wild card race of Talladega, which I'm just going to throw it out there now. I think Brad Keselowski wins because he hasn't lost on a restrictor plate track in how long now?
Since Daytona.
Yeah, right. He didn't win the 500.
He's won the last 2.
Yeah.
All right, so not making it to the round of 8 for me, I have Chase Elliott won't make it. I don't think Kyle Larson will make it. I don't think Kurt Busch will make it. And I don't think Jimmy Johnson makes it to the round of 8.
Okay. Rich?
Wow, I'm right there with you.
Who do you have?
Except I've got Jamie McMurray. Where you had Larson, I've got Larson, Chase Elliott, Kurt Busch not making it, and I've got Jamie McMurray. But you had Jamie McMurray. We've got it flip-flopped. I've got Jimmy not making it, and you've got McMurray not making it out of the first round. So we've just flip-flopped it on the next round.
Okay.
I also do not have Jimmy Johnson making it past the round of 12. You, of course, don't have Jimmy making it into the round of 12. But the reason is I think he might have problems at Talladega. I mean, he hasn't run well at restrictor plate races. I think Jimmy Johnson doesn't make it. I don't think Kenseth makes it. I have Matt Kenseth out.
Wow.
After the round of 12, which might surprise some people, but we'll move on, and I'll tell you why here in a second. I have Kurt Busch out, though he has been very consistent this year. I have Kurt Busch out in that round because I don't think he can win at mile-and-a-half racetracks like Kyle Busch or Kevin Harvick or Truex or Carl Edwards, those guys who have won at mile-and-a-half racetracks this year, but I think Kurt Busch is out. And then, of course, I have Austin Dillon being eliminated heading into the round of 8. So that is what I have. Then we move into the championship 4. who is eliminated going there? Actually, let's just say who our championship 4 is.
Okay, my championship 4, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., and Denny Hamlin.
All right.
I got Kyle Busch, Truex, Joey Logano, and Carl Edwards. I do not have Kevin Harvick in my top 4.
So you have 3 Toyotas.
3 Toyotas.
You do not have Kevin Harvick in your top 4.
I do not have Kevin Harvick.
What do you think happens to him at Phoenix? Because someone's going to have to wreck him for him to lose.
We'll see about that. He barely won this past time. Carl Edwards just did nix him out. I think Carl Edwards makes it and Kevin Harvick doesn't.
I also have Carl in, but I do have Kevin Harvick in because I think he wins at Phoenix. I have Denny Hamlin in because I think he wins at Martinsville. And then, so I have Hamlin, Harvick, Carl, and my 4th one is a bit of a toss-up. I want to put Kyle Larson in, but I think I'm going to have to go with Truex. So Truex, Carl, Hamlin, and Harvick is my top 4. How about your champions?
I've got Kevin Harvick.
All right, Truex.
I have Carl Edwards winning his first championship ever.
All right.
Having the best team he's ever had in his entire career, and I think he wins the championship this weekend. So Carl, Harvick, and Truex are our champions. Rango, who does Rango have?
Rango's final 4 are Harvick, Kyle, Keselowski, Truex, and he thinks Harvick wins the championship.
There it is.
The chicken.
You know Rango's going to get it.
The poultry pick. I got his brother cooking in the crock pot at home right now.
Great.
I can't wait. Anyways, let's take our final break. We'll be back here on the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show presented by Hercules Tires.
Got a question or opinion about your fantasy lineup? Give us a call at 8444-ASK-MRN, and it may get used on next week's show. The Inside Line will return in a moment.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
O'Reilly.
It's O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stop in today and check out store-wide savings plus earn double points on over 225 items. It's our way of saying thank you. If you're not already a member, sign up today during O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month. It's fast, easy, and free. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
There's a place where time stands still, but the clock always ticks. A place where the roots begin.
The heartland of stock car racing.
But the tree is still growing.
Green flag. It is out. Joey Logano on the...
It's Martinsville Speedway. NASCAR Sprint Cup Series races back to the half mile of mayhem October 30 for the Goodies Fast Relief 500. Tickets are on sale now. Call 877-RACE-TICK or visit martinsvillespeedway.com to purchase yours.
Welcome back to the Inside Line. Here are your hosts, Robbie Mays and Tyler Burnett.
Welcome back to the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show presented by Hercules Tires. I'm Robbie Mays. He is Rich Colbreth.
Why are you laughing?
He is Tyler Burnett. And speaking of Tyler, it's time to play our favorite game of the week.
That's why I'm laughing.
Or are you Tyler Burnett?
Tyler Burnett is under 500. Let's keep it that way. This week, it's a song. Name the title of the song, the artist, anything associated with this piece of music. Daryl, cue it up, and let's go.
Classic.
Let me hear it play out.
Classic. Oh, yeah, 6 minutes of it?
Yeah.
I actually have heard this song.
But do you know what it is?
I'm going to have to hear some vocals to know.
I don't know if you can get that far because the open.
No
the
vocals?
Open is
it's just the intro.
The open is a minute long. You know what?
I can name that tune in
I
one
can
note.
hum it.
Yeah.
But you don't know what it is.
I'm just going to guess.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Is it Aerosmith?
No.
Hold on. Let me take one more guess.
Is it Aerosmith?
Yeah.
No.
Man.
I said I got to hear vocals.
Classic.
You should need vocals for this.
Hey, you know what? If Can I just give you some of the people in the band?
Something California, right?
Something California.
California.
I'm not going
right?
to give him that.
It's
You got to get the full title of the song.
Is that right?
The name of the song
California.
is Hotel California.
Hotel California.
By the Eagles.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Released in February of 1977.
That's so bad.
You're wrong.
That is so bad.
5 and 7.
Whack, whack, whack.
I said something California.
Aerosmith. You know what?
You said Aerosmith. That's wrong. That's an
Your answer-
automatic wrong.
His answer to everything is Aerosmith.
Let's go, Rango.
Chicken.
Oh!
I can do it too. There you go.
Picks for this weekend at Chicagoland Speedway.
Read them off.
Driver number 1 is Kyle Larson.
Okay.
Driver number 2 is Kevin Harvick.
Okay.
Denny Hamlin won Chicago last year. He
Yep.
is on Rango's team.
Yep.
Tony Stewart and
Yep.
Chris Buescher. His winner is Kevin Harvick, and Chevrolet is his manufacturer. Rich, you weren't here when we were talking about Chicago. Who do you got this weekend?
You know what?
Quickly.
I've looked at some notes. I think Kyle Larson's going to do well this weekend. I think Denny Hamlin, who won this race last year, is going to do well. I think Martin Truex Jr., despite his numbers, because he's got some terrible numbers at Chicagoland, but
He's
look
still
at what he's
good
done.
at mile and a half.
Yeah, he's still great at mile and a half, so I think you go with him this weekend. Watch practice and qualifying.
Who's your winner?
I'm going to say Truex.
All right.
I'm going to agree. I'm also going to say Truex, but I had that written down before Rich got here.
I just pulled it off my head.
I'm going to say Carl Edwards wins this weekend. I think he makes it to the final round. I think the 78 and the 19 are pretty solid. So I got them. Sprint Cup Series practice coming up at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time today. Of course, the truck race at 8:30 Eastern. Second practice Saturday, 10:30. And then, of course, the Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 400 on 2:30 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. Thanks for Rich, Robbie, joining us today. It's been a great day.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't know who the Eagles were. But anyways. We'll talk to you next week as we head to the second round of the chase, which will be New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to The Inside Line, presented by Hercules Tires. Stream us every Friday on MotorRacingNetwork.com or on the MRN app. The Inside Line is also available on demand at the MRN.com Media Center or download it through iTunes or Stitcher. The Inside Line is a production of the Motor Racing Network.